everyone, so today it's a new Chanel launch day, one of my favourite reviews to do here on this channel. So I've picked up the new eyeshadow from Chanel for their Autumn Fall 2024 collection. I've picked up both of their blushes, so I've got the orange and the lilac, and I've picked up both of their lip liners. So we're going to look at all of these today and see what we think. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47, not a professional, just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I like to review new products, mostly luxury beauty here on my channel. And I like to show you my favourite looks and give you any beauty news I think might interest you. I do upload at least twice a week, if not quite a bit more actually these days, depending on my times. So if you think you'd enjoy this sort of content, I would love it so much if you could like and subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so very much. You mean so much to me, all of you. And if you comment below, I love getting to know all of you and hearing what you think about the products in the video and anything else you'd like to chat about really. So please do comment below and let's get on with this video. To start with the eyeshadow today, but before I do any of that, I'm going to show you a swatch video of the eyeshadow swatched yesterday in Natural Daylight. So here's that video for you. So this came in the fairly standard pouch you get from Chanel. The only thing that was slightly different is it came with this little card giving me instructions on different ways to create looks. Look 1 and look 2, showing you where to place the powders. So that was a little bit new. The packaging is exactly the same as always with Chanel. So you're getting a nice stand-up mirror, and you're getting the brushes, which are quite effective. I have tested them here, but I won't be using them today. But I think if it's for on-the-go touch-ups, they are quite good. So this cost £54 and it is limited edition. And it does appear that they're all mattes. So I hadn't actually read up on that, but I would have bought it anyway because this colour story completely intrigued me, because I'm really curious to see if this mustard is going to work, because I think if it was an orange, it would immediately appeal to me, but mustard, I'm not so sure. So we shall have to see how this is going to look at my eyes. I think it's going to be interesting. So these shades are described as a bluish matte lavender, a matte purple, a matte green matcha, and a matte camel. So the mustardy shade is called Camel. And this has a gelifying system, a blend of polymers and spherical powders, which should give you a soft, creamy glide-on texture and shades that blend together perfectly, giving you an even makeup result. Easy application and immediate intense coverage. So these did swatch quite well for Chanel shades. They are quite pigmented, and I agree they're usually very easy to apply. They are super soft. So, wow, nothing more to say really, apart from let's give this a go. So I'm actually going to start with this Camel using my 15 Refa Mini. You can see how much is on the brush there. It really is quite pigmented. So I'm going to tap off. I'm going to use this as the outer sort of transition shade and take it here and into the outer V. As it's going on, it's not offensive, not at all offensive, that shade. It's actually rather nice. Blending out beautifully on the eye, very easily, as I always find with Chanel. And I'm running it underneath with my Refa 03. It's certainly giving autumn, isn't it? I like that on my skin a lot more than it looks in the pan, so that's a good start, because this is the one I was most concerned with. So I've just brushed off the 15 mini. I'm going to use the same brush to do this purple matte in my outer V and just build up a bit of depth. Hopefully not too much, just enough. See how this mixes in with this Camel. For a purple, this is very smooth in the way it's swatched and in the way it's applying. It's not at all blotchy or patchy. It's a very good purple actually. And I've got to be a bit careful with purple, because too much purple does tend to make me, with my sort of skin tone, it makes me look a bit unwell. So I don't like a lot of deep purple. So that's probably enough for me to give me that sort of depth. These are working together beautifully. I do love Chanel mattes. Really have been enjoying them recently. And I'm going to run it under the eye, stopping at the same point I stopped at with the purple above. I'm going to take the Rapha 28, which is a flat brush, and go into this matcha shade. And now take this over most of the lid. So there is matcha. I'm not as convinced now. It's starting to look like a bruise to me. I don't know. Anyway, let's not judge until it's finished. So now I'm going to take my BK Beauty 207 into this light lavender. I'm going to put a pop of this in the inner corner for brightening. And I'm going to bring it in that very first third of the lid to come here to meet that green. Actually, there's a bit of glitter on this brush which I thought I'd cleaned off, which I'm not actually upset about because I think this needs it. But there isn't any shimmer in this powder, so that's my mistake. Although it's giving me the idea that I need a topper for this look, because I really do miss the fact that there's no shimmer. And immediately just seeing that little bit of glitter, sorry, Florrie's starting again. Immediately seeing that bit of shimmer makes me prefer the look again. It's definitely very autumnal. I love the green actually, but I'm not sure if that mustard on the top, when it meets the green and the purple, if it just gives the idea of a bruise. Do you know what I mean? When a bruise is fading off from purpley green into this sort of, I don't know, that's what it's making me think of. I am going to try some shimmer. I've got the Chanel Blanc Pearl here. This is number 220. So this actually has pink in it as well. So this could be quite bizarre. But anyway, let's just give this a whirl. I'm going to put this across the top to see if it transforms it. It is going to slightly give a pink edge. We're just going to bring that shine. I'm not sure if that was the right one actually. Maybe a highlighter would have been a better option, a white highlighter, because of the pink shift in this. I've also got my Chanel highlight here, which I love, so I'm actually going to put some of this on as well. Really mixing this up now. Oh yeah, that's better than that topper. So this is the pearly white shade in the Chanel highlighter, which for me just improves the whole look, just having that shimmer effect. I'm just patting a bit of the green back in because I lost a bit maybe. So now I've got a combination of shimmers with that green. Which I think has made it look better. I'm just not very excited with this palette at all, if I've got to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to put a brown or black liner on. Which one? I got this actually free with purchase from Clinique. This is a black liner, so I think I'm going to put this in, because definitely the purple in this is nowhere near deep enough for me to use as any sort of liner. I'm just very slightly winging that up and putting it across the lash line there, and I'm going to take it under to add a bit more depth to the lashes. So I'm going to take this lavender underneath the brow. I'm hoping when it meets a bit with that camel, it might just make it look a bit less like a bruise. Showing up a little bit, but not a lot. Again, I would rather have a highlighter there, but I'm going to leave it because I wanted to use this palette as much as possible, this quad. So that is the full look that I've created using all of these shades. What do you think? I don't hate it, but I certainly don't love it. It's very much a 5 out of 10 for me, in all honesty. If the green was shimmery, and if this was more of a sort of burnt orange shade, maybe to match the blush that we'll be testing out soon, that might have been better. I don't think it's awful, but it could have been so much better. I think it was brave of them to go for that colour, but no, maybe if I try it without the purple next time and just try these three, I could see how that looks, but I still think that these two together are just going to look like a bruise. Oh, I don't know. Will I even pick this up again? I honestly don't know. So, oh dear. So I've gone off camera and done my mascara, so that is the final look with this eyeshadow. Definitely not my favourite, but I do like it. I don't dislike it. I'd love to know what you think of it. It is very perfect for autumn. I just would have liked a bit of an orange, but if you were matching an outfit that had the sort of greens and purples, I'm not so sure about the camel. Anyway, if you did, it could be perfect. I mean, I've got a bit of purple in my top, so I sort of feel it goes with my top in a way. Just needed that sort of pinky corally. No, I don't want coral. I've got to stop thinking of coral. We're in autumn mode. But anyway, orange. I do love orange on the eye. I love orange and purple. I love green and orange. So I think it just needed that. So, I mean, maybe I'll try this palette with an orange. In fact, I might try it with a blush. Not today though. So let's move on to the blush. Now, the first thing I want to show you before I show you the swatches is something that's changed, is they're coming separately, brush and the actual palette. So normally you get the brush inside, the brush that I never use, but now that's coming in this separate holder. So I don't know if you can get it inside, because for me the whole purpose of the brush is that you can actually use it on the go. So now you can't keep the brush in the actual pan like you can with the others, because it wouldn't close. There's nowhere to put it. So I don't know what everyone thinks about that. I don't personally ever use these, and I don't use them for on the go. I don't take blushes out for things like that, in all honesty. The only thing I usually take with me is a lipstick and a powder in case my oils come through. But if you're someone who likes to touch up your blush and have it with you, then I don't know how you'll feel about the brush being separate. Anyway, so before I try it on, I'm going to show you the swatches I did yesterday in the natural daylight. So I'm going to show you both of them, actually, the lavender and the blood orange. So here are those videos now. I don't have a lot of colours I can really compare this lavender to, apart from the one I picked up from Dior this year, which was lavender, and you can see the very big difference in the appearance, because this lavender is almost white. It is quite bizarre, and I'm quite concerned with how this will look on me. Is it just going to give me a ghost appearance? So I'm going to show you this compared to the Dior. Now, the Dior lavender one doesn't really swatch very well. I say lavender, it's actually called pink lilac, but it's the only one I can think of. It just seems to hard pan this one. I don't know what is going on with it. It's never been a very good blush for me. Anyway, here is the Chanel lavender. You can see it showing up on my skin. It is showing up. And here is the Dior lilac, which is doing what it did last time, not even showing up. So I've scraped the surface of the Dior because it always seems to hard pan, and maybe you can see it on my arm. I mean, can you see much? So even though it looks so much more bright, if you did pick this up, you're probably going to get this showing up more, the Chanel, than you are the Dior. This one was a disaster for me, really. Anyway, this is the second time I've gone back to it, and it's hard panned, like I need to take the whole surface off again. I really don't know what's going on with that, because the pink one didn't do that. I don't know if I got a dodgy one, I really don't. Because this is so pale, I am thinking of pairing it with this, which is the Chanel Lighten Berry. So I'm going to put this on its own first, but then I'm going to go in with the berry on the top part of my cheek for a bit more sort of dimension, a bit more colour. So I'm going to take my Refa blush brush here, and I'm going to be, I have noticed with both of these blushes, can you see how much powder is coming off with me swirling? But these are actually, for Chanel, very pigmented. Now, obviously we are talking here about a lavender, But what I mean is you do get quite a lot on the brush. And the shade that it gives, it really does give. So you can see that this is giving me, I've got a hair from the brush, the effect of putting a white powder on my face, which is pretty much what we expected. So I would say this blush is going to be, see, it really does show up. Can you see how that's really shown up? But it shows up like I'm using basically a lilac setting powder. Very strange for a blush, although I don't hate the way it looks. It's sitting very nicely on the skin. It's very blurring, very nice for mature skin. And if you've got super fair skin, and there is a bit of colour there, if you compare both sides, I don't know, it's almost taken colour out and replaced it with this lavender colour. Definitely not enough colour though. I definitely would look unwell, which is why I'm going to go in with this berry. Now the berry definitely doesn't give off as much pigment. I do need to really swirl around to get this one to show up. I'm going to put this on the top because I think, yeah, these two together might make a really good combination. So we've got the berry here at the top and then we've got the lavender at the bottom. Back in with that lavender just to fuse them together there. Oh, I like those two together, you know. Can you see the sort of ombre effect you get between the two? And then I could try the highlighter from this, which is that pinky highlighter, and put that there across the top of the two. I really like that, you know. This is what I found with the Dior. I got the darkest shade and the lightest shade of Dior and put the two together. I've actually done a video of it. You'll find it on my shorts. And I prefer both of them so much when I use the two together. Yeah, I really like those two together. And there we go. So if you've got my skin tone, which is pretty fair to be honest, or darker, I don't think you're going to like this unless you do mix it with something like this, in which case I think it works very nicely. I really do like that. And as this was launched with this eyeshadow, do you think it goes with that? I suppose it picks up a little bit on the purple in a way. I'm not sure it's the perfect match, but it's not a terrible match. So now on to the blood orange. This is the one that I really wanted, in all honesty. I did pick up the other one for review, if I'm honest, so if I was going to choose I would definitely be going for this one, I think. Anyway, I haven't seen it on the face yet. And before I try this on, I'm just going to show you some comparisons with previous shades last year from both Dior and Chanel, which were quite orangey. So here is the blood orange. Do you see how pigmented this is for a Chanel blush? And this one from Dior from last year, this is the Grand Bal Satin in 537. And this one's more of a sort of brown orange. So definitely different. In some ways I think that would work better with this eyeshadow look, but anyway. And then from Chanel last year there is this one, and this is number 7, God I can't read it, 797 Beige Camel. You can see straight away that the pigment on last year's blush is nowhere near as strong as this. And that's been the theme with all Chanel blushes this year, that they're just not very pigmented. So they've done something very different with these new ones, much more pigment. So definitely different shades there. So with this being as pigmented as it is, I am just going to do a little dab of my brush, which I would never do normally with Chanel. I would be very liberal. See, straight away that's really giving me quite a pop of colour. Look at that. Whoa, a tiny bit more. That is very, very pigmented for a Chanel blush. It's actually really nice. But it's giving more of a sort of almost summer orange than it is autumn. I think that the ones from last year were more autumn appropriate. It's almost like a reddy orange on me. I don't know. I'm building it up to show you just the sort of amount of trouble you can get into with this blush. But built up, you can really see the orange coming through. I will calm this down. That gives you an idea. So I'm using my Buffer Pro brush from Sonia G to just buff this back and calm this right down. And now that's looking more of a sort of normal colour for my cheeks. But you've seen the sort of depth you can get from this. So if you're a deeper skin tone or just someone who loves a really popping bright blush, you can definitely get this from this, which is quite unique for Chanel formulas. So, but it does make me think it's more summery than it is autumnal. So I do think this side is a better match, really. Oh, I've got a big streak of white there where I caught it. So there we have the blood orange side and the lavender topped with the berry on this side. Which one do you prefer? I think I prefer this side. I really like the way those two mix together. That was quite a surprise. I would never have bought this, but I think this could be a really good option for doing that sort of double blush look. So I like it for that, I really do. And this could also be a nice shade for that inner corner. Maybe even more so than the one that comes with this eyeshadow. In fact, I might try that now. If I take some and put it under the brow, see if it shows up a bit more. Then, yeah, it does show up a bit more. I'm going to try and calm the pinky side down a little bit so I can add the orange so I look a bit more even before we go on to the lips. And I'm going to pop the same highlighter, that pinky highlighter from the Berry Duo that I used on that side, just so that both sides are completely even. I do love that highlighter actually. And take some of it down the nose and the Cupid's bow. And with the blushes, I don't think I went into any information on them, so sorry for the wrong order here. They are both £54 and they are both limited edition. So limited edition does usually mean limited edition, but you'll probably find they're in stock for quite a while. And they're described as two mysterious limited edition shades inspired by Gabrielle Chanel's fascination with the art of divination. One blood orange hue with hypnotic accents, and one magical mystical shade of lavender. The soft sensorial powder texture of this creation offers a velvet matte finish that accentuates the cheekbones. Florrie's just, I don't know, putting her input in again, and adds colour to the face for captivating, enigmatic looks. And the embossing on both of them, by the way, is a deck of tarot cards on which the number 5, which is Mademoiselle's lucky number, and the emblematic double C monogram appears. And it also looks like the embossing is lasting a lot better than some blushes do, because I have swatched this and I've used it and it looks exactly the same. So nice embossing, which hopefully will last quite a while. And now that I've got that on with the highlighter and it's not too strong, I think it's really pretty actually. I quite like it with the pink highlighter. That's again not something I would mix. So that's quite a nice mixture. So one thing you maybe could try is mixing it with the lavender as well. So few things to think of there, but now this has brought some more colour to my cheeks. I think it's making the eyeshadow look a lot better as well, having that pop of colour. So not feeling quite as worried as I was about this look now. So there were 2 lip liners launched and I picked both of them up because these are shades I don't think I've actually got, and as we're moving into autumn, we do need these sorts of colours. Well, I think I do. I think they're actually really nice colours. So we've got a beige orange and a beige camel. I'll show you both of them now. So they both come with the brush on the end. And this one is 198, the beige orange. And I swatched this here for you. Now I swatched this yesterday on my hand and it stayed there all day. And this one is 202 beige camel. So here is beige camel. They are different because this one is definitely a lot warmer and this one's got more of an orange. So I think they are quite different, but they're very suitable for this time of year. And with the summer release from Chanel, I picked up a lipstick number 358 and I paired this yesterday when this first arrived and I thought they went really well together. So I'm going to show you this combination. So it's the 198 beige orange. Always very creamy and easy to apply, and you do get pretty much all day out of these. They have got excellent longevity. So here is the lipstick, which isn't part of this collection, as I said. This is actually from the summer collection. So 356 Coral Avenue Satin Finish, a chic coral pink. And I think it's a perfect match for this lip liner and for this look as well, this sort of autumnal orange vibe. So there they are together. Really like that, and I'm looking forward to experimenting with the other lip liner to see which ones would go. I was looking at my Fenty, actually, I think, my Fenty Gloss Bomb Sticks. This is in the shade Sorta Selfish, is it? That's what it's called, Sorta Selfish. And I think that would be a good match with this 202. So looking forward to experimenting. And some of the new NARS explicit lip shades I picked up because I'm trying to go for more autumnal shades. So I'm looking forward to trying these two out. So that's my full face of the new Chanel collection. I would love to hear your thoughts. Now it's all pulled together with the lipstick, the orange cheeks, and this eyeshadow. I'm actually quite happy with the look. I really am. I think it is giving autumn, and I do really like it. So it's strange, isn't it? I just go through this change of emotion as you see things pull together, because I think the eyeshadow looks so much better now we've got the colour on the cheeks and lips. So I do think it's rather nice now. Maybe it's not a 5 out of 10. It's definitely not more than a 7 though. But I do like it. I'd love to know what you think, honestly. This is quite a strange one. And the blushes, again, I think the orange looks really nice once it's calmed down, and I love it with that pink highlight on top. So again, it's really nice to play with things and see how they might and might not work together, isn't it? And the lavender surprised me because of the way it worked. It wouldn't work for me without that deeper berry on the top, but I do think I like that. I'm quite enjoying mixing blushes at the moment. So what do you think? Will you be picking any of these up, or have you already, or are they a complete no? I would love to hear your thoughts on all of these. As always, I have loved trying Chanel on. I always love Chanel releases. I always get so excited for Chanel and Dior releases. They're probably my favourites to do. I say that, I've got a lot of favourites. I only really show you favourites on this channel because I only like to buy and invest in products I think I'm going to love, let's be honest. But Chanel and Dior are right up there as some of the absolute best, aren't they? And it's been a pleasure. I'm very happy with everything I've got on. I really am. A lot happier than I thought I would be. So that's a win, isn't it? And definitely a good autumn look to get me into the mood for autumn, although I am actually still very much in summer mode here. It's quite warm. Yeah, I'm going on holiday in a month's time to warm weather, so I don't really feel ready to move into this sort of autumn look, but obviously that's what's being released at the moment, so I'm trying it on. But tomorrow and the next day when I'm not filming, I will not be wearing these shades. But certainly as we move into the autumn, my favourite season of the year, this is definitely a colour story that I will be using. I think this is actually really nice now I'm seeing it put together, as I said. So please give me your thoughts. Are you picking them up? Please let me know. I would love to know. Anyway, that's all from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please do like and subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you all, and I hope to see every single one of you for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.